Yes, in my Mawla, Ya Rabbi sallimna wa akrimna warzuqna warhamna Ya Mawla, Ya Rabbi sallimna wa akrimna وارزقنا وارحمنا يا مولانا أنت حبيبي أنت نوري أنت ولي أنت كلي أنت حبيبي أنت نوري أنت ولي أنت كلي तेरी याद में जाऊं मैं तेरी रहमत का तलबगार हूँ मैं तेरे ही घर पे आया हूँ सवाली बंदे में आते हैं फैले हुए हैं तेरे साथ
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. All praises be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and an abundance of salutations to our beloved Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Today you are listening to me, Mehreen, on Kickoff, and I'm sitting in for Budding Gavida. Yes, you normally hear me on the You For You show, but of course today we are sitting in for our brother who's not in studio. But Kickoff is all about you and the sport, so let's get this cracking. Before I do continue, I must say, of course, thank you to Brother Asif there in Durban, my amazing tech. Also, a guide. If it's not for him, then how are you going to listen to me? So let's give him credit. I always say, text, run, boss. That's a new saying of mine. Before we continue with the program, which is a lot of sport news that's coming at, lots of beautiful nasheeds you're going to be listening to, and of course, we're going to break for Adhan shortly as well. We're going to first listen to our favorite nasheed on this program and many other programs as well, and that is Salam Alaikum. Stay tuned.
جئت لنا خاتما للمرسلين بدر الدجى رحمة للعالمين أبا الزهراء كم أشتاق لنلتقيه وأرى عينيك في الجنة تحن فيه كالجمال والأمانة والوفاء عطر قد فاح نور حر في الآفاق سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله تزينت بك الأرض والسماء والقلب بات يهتف لك بالصلاة إحسان الناس سيد ومصطفى خير الورى صلى عليك الرحمن فيك الجمال والأمانة والوفاء عطر قد فاح نور حر في الآفاق اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد يا حبيبي يا رسول الله، سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله، سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله، سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله، سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله، سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله، سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا رسول الله، سلام عليك يا حبيبي يا نبي الله. يا حبيبي يا رسول الله، سلام عليك.
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If you just tuned in, you're listening to Mehreen. I'm sitting in for Buddy Commander this afternoon, and we are talking on kickoff, talking about all kinds of sports, all kinds of sports news. Inshallah, we will get through the program together, and you are listening to myself again, Mehreen. I'm coming to you from Petermaritzburg, 105.6 FM. If you're in Durban and the surrounding areas, you're listening to us on 90.4 FM. And wherever you are in the world, if you're live streaming, of course, a very warm and a huge welcome to you as well. Don't forget to always make dua for our text as well. My text today, Asif, amazing work, my brother. Appreciate you. Let's go with some soccer news, where we're speaking today about an article that I saw that was on SABC Sport, right? This is about Saint Eloy Lupopo, and that's the assistant coach. And he spoke about how they had to speak and do something about Mukoko Amali yesterday. Saint Olale Popo assistant coach Yassine Asalmi has played down suggestions that this team relies too heavily on the influence of their defender, Mukoko Amali, especially comes after their 3-1 loss to Mamelodi Sundowns yesterday. The DR Congo side were second best in their CAF Champions League Group C opener, which was at Loftus, and that was with Mukoko, who was absent through a 2-match suspension. Salmi had insisted, however, that Lupopo's identity is not defined by a single player, and I quote what he said. And he said, I can't speak about Mukoko without mentioning the other players in my team. If we win as a team, and if we lose as a team. It's not just about one individual in the game, unquote. You know what? Salmi is kind of right. We all need to take that advice sometimes. It's not just about the one-man band. Everybody makes it happen. Salmi then acknowledged they will look to their home form to steady themselves in the group. And then he also added that they're going to see in the next game what more they can pull off. Some other news coming through, and this is about netball. Kamogelo Maseko is who we're talking about. That's the Spa Proteas goal attack, Kamogelo Maseko. She said that the team's goal is to remain competitive as they look to defend their African Netball Cup title in Malawi. Of course, the Continental Showpiece will take place from the 8th to the 14th of December, with the South African national team looking to capture their 5th title since competing in the championship in 2010. She spoke, of course, to SABC Sport, and she said she's really honored to be representing the country, and as a team that they're going to go out there, compete with what they know is defending their championship, and they need to remain all respects, because that's the only thing that's going to get them to win the Continental Netball. Proteas are coming straight from an international tour, competing against world number 1 and 2, that's Australia and New Zealand. And Maseko says the experience from this series will come in handy as they prepare to the Continental Cup in Malawi. We do, of course, wish our South African team all of the best. Despite facing an injury setback, Maseko also enjoyed a decent domestic season with Gauteng Jaguars, helping the team to secure a bronze medal at the 2025 Telkom Netball League. And this is what she had to say to sum it up with the domestic season. I think I had a rocky start to this year's TNL because of surgery, but I managed to kick up in international competitions as the national team. How amazing is that? So we wish all of our ladies at the netball team for the Proteas all of the best in their upcoming games. Moving on to some soccer now, we said Amazulu coach Arthur Zwane, he says he's got this new maximum point coverage and it could not come easily against Siwelele Football Club. Zwane was speaking after Usutu claimed a 2-0 victory at Moses Mabhida Stadium in Durban, a result that restored confidence following their 1-0 defeat in Polokwane City. Remember that he is talking about Athene Maholo, and that was what sealed the win with the second half brace, taking Amazulu's tally to 3 league victories in their last 4 outings. Zoane says that he expected they would need to dig deep, and I quote, they came here with one thing in mind, which was to play and not just sit back like the last time. Today we played against a team that took the game for us, and whereas previously we played against teams that waited for us. So she spoke there and he spoke high because he says the right winger who joined Amazulu in September after spells at the JDR Stars and football coach Ravens, they had quickly adapted to the top flight demands. And Zwane says that the youngsters in the squad are obviously adjusting very, very well. This was, of course, Amazulu's third win in 4 league matches, lifting them to 5th place on the DSTV Premiership table with 21 points from just 12 games. I'm going to go for a very quick ad break and a sheet break right now. And when we come back, we'll be talking more news after this. Stay tuned.
Kickoff with Buddy Governor is brought to you by First Fitness, Durban's premier boutique gym.
Vodacom Shop. For smartphones, laptops, routers, asset insurance, gaming, IoT, payment platforms, and the latest gadgets to always keeping you in the forefront of innovation and technology. Home and business internet to ensure that you have the best connection. Plug and play home internet to fully installed fiber. Our infrastructure provides a resilient platform for your critical business applications, which will help your business perform best. Vodacom Shop at the Pavilion Superstore 2.0, Westwood Mall, The Bluff, The Workshop Durban, Umlazi Megacity, Bridge City Kwamashu, Brookside Mall PMB, and the Nelson Mandela Square Santon 2.0.
Iqra wafham. Read and understand the Holy Quran. Your program giving you the most powerful manual for life. It's the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the Last Testament. The ayahs are recited, translated and explained for us to understand by various learned scholars of Islam. Comes to you every Sunday at 8 p.m. and Fridays at 10:30 p.m. Iqra wafham. Read and understand.
One child, one dream.
A journey with African Muslims Agency that began 3 years ago has changed the lives of Syrian and Palestinian refugee children beyond their dreams. Help them to continue their education by sponsoring a student at the Amman School of Excellence in Lebanon for 25,200 Rand per year. Education at Amman can provide a brighter future for refugee families.
AMA, empowering, educating, inspiring.
Radio Ansaar, 24/7, 365.
Kick off with Buddy Governor.
You're listening to a live broadcast from Radio Ansaar, Pietermaritzburg, 105.6 FM.
Kickoff with Buddy Governor is brought to you by First Fitness, Durban's premier boutique gym.
يا ربي لك ناجي شوف من حالي يا علي الشكوى للإله حالي تولى بأمره كل شيء هو ربي وتعيد فيه يا ربي تقويني مجروح شفيني طريقي وريني أملي فيك كبير يا ربي تقويني مجروح شفيني طريقي وريني أملي فيك كبير بحياة انكفح ونزيد ورضاك يا رب نريد ساعة كل يوم على تشوف ذاب الشدة تروح وترتاح هذه الروح تعد قلبي يا ربي ترحم ذنبي وضعفي الشكوى للإله حالي تولى بأمره كل شيء هو ربي وتعيد فيه يا ربي تقويني مجروح شفيني طريقي وريني أملي فيك كبير يا ربي تقويني مجروح شفيني طريقي وريني أملي فيك كبير
Yeah, that was Yadawini. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Kickoff, and it's Mehreen here, coming to you live from 105.6 FM here in Pietermaritzburg, and of course in Durban and surround you on 90.4 FM. And I'm sitting in for Buddy Governor. Inshallah, our brother will be with us next week again. And we're talking some sports news. Do remember that you can send us a message on our WhatsApp line. That's 0609041056. We always look forward to hearing from you, our listeners, as well. Coming back to some of our sports news for the day, I'm talking now about Banyana. Their coach, Desiree Ellis, says that she's going to be using the upcoming international friendly match against Morocco to assess individual performances building up to the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations. Ellis announced her 26-player squad, including 3 reserves, and is expected to assemble for camp on Monday, which is to prepare for their clash against the Atlas Lionesses taking place on the 2nd of December. She spoke to SABC Sport over the weekend, and she said that it's not only about the scoreline, that she's also expected to get a good performance from an entire team. She did say that they have a little bit more time to prepare for the friendly because it's in the past couple of matches, but you come to camp and you leave only 2 days later to play a match. So is what she said. She says, so there's not much that they can do other than give off their best. Being at home always gives them the opportunity to work on certain things, so it might not come right in the game because it's not about getting it right now, but it's about being ready for WAFCON. That's according to Alice. So we do wish them well. Alice did add that this upcoming clash is going to be a platform for the youngsters also to raise their hands ahead of next year's WAFCON, which is where Mamelodi Sundowns lady striker Ntabiseng Magia has also earned a call-up after displaying a good form at club level. Alice says that she credits coach Godfrey Sapula for instilling confidence in the young striker. Keeping with some soccer news, we're talking now about Mamelodi Sundowns coach Miguel Cardoso. He says his side is inching ever closer to that cohesive unity and vision now that they've shaken off a sluggish start to the 2025-26 season. The Brazilians opened their CAF Championships League group campaign with a polished 3-1 victory over St. Eloy Lepopo at Loftus, a result that served notice to pool rivals MC Alger and Al Hilal, of course, ahead of their looming clashes. Midfielder Nuno Santos bragged a brace, and then with Marcelo's Allende also finding the net in the performance Cardoso described as a clear step towards the high tempo rhythm he expects from his squad. And our coach, what he said, this season we have been suffering because we've had so many players unavailable due to injury, but it is good that there are players who are lifting their levels, unquote. Goes to show that sometimes when you're down, you need that down to make you come back up again. Keeping with the soccer news, Orlando Pirates, of course, we're talking now how SABC Sport understands that Orlando Pirates have agreed a deal with Major League Soccer side Chicago Fire for defender Mpekezeli Mbokazi, who arrived in the USA this week to finalize his move. Reports linked the 20-year-old with an imminent departure after he was spotted at OR Tambo International Airport and he was attempting to make a very low-key exit. Interest in Mbokazi has been simmering, of course, for months now, since former coach Jose Rivero trusted him into the spotlight, which was last season, and the young centre-back then embraced the opportunity, and he rapidly was growing into that first-team regular and attracting attention overseas and abroad. So Chicago Fire have now won the race for his signature with a bid in the region of 51 million rand ahead of the January transfer window. Of course, before then, he's still to set a feature for Pirates in their remaining domestic fixtures, including the Carling Knockout, a final against Marumo Gallants on the 6th of December at the Peter Mokaba Stadium, because he becomes the latest South African talent to head to the MLS following the recent moves of Olwetu Makanya to now the Philadelphia Union. And of course, there were other moves from Bukushle Hlongwane, who's now at Minnesota United. And of course, there was a move by Injabulo Blom, who previously turned out for St. Louis City. Quite a lot of news coming up and more. Keeping it with the soccer, we're talking now Barcelona. They joined Real Madrid on 31 points in the La Liga standings with a thumping 4-0 win over a 10-man Athletic Club at Camp Nou on Saturday, which is yesterday afternoon. Robert Lewandowski cut the Catalans off to the perfect start. Of course, he beat Unai Simon with a low dive from the left side of the box in the 4th minute. After dominating much of the first half, Barca then doubled their advantage on the stroke of half-time after Ferran Torres latched onto a lovely Lamine Yamal cross before powering the ball past Simon. The home side got off to a strong start after their break too. Fermin Lopez, of course, played a deft 1-2 with Eric Garcia. That's before slotting the ball home to make it 3-0 on the 48th minute. I do know we need to break for Adhan, so let's do that right now, and inshallah we'll be back after this. Stay tuned.
Kick off with Buddy Governor on Radio Al Ansar's premier sports show.
This Adhan is sponsored for the Isale Sawab of Marhum Muhammad Farooq Latib and all Marhumin. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them the highest abode in Jannah. Ameen.
أعزائي المستمعين، حان الآن موعد أذان العصر لمدينة دربن وما حولها.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا
اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة وبعثه اللهم مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته وارزقنا شفاعته يوم القيامة إنك لا تخلف الميعاد.
This dua brought to you by Simplex Radio, South Africa's leading retailer of appliances, car sound and home theater systems.
Having a clean, comfortable home is every homeowner's pride. That's why Khan's Chemicals have developed and manufactured prime yet affordable quality household brands Starlight, Miracle Mum, Exterminate and Angie to care for your home and family. With a wide range of fabric softeners, dishwashing liquids, bleachers and all-purpose cleaners, pine gels, bubble baths and much more, Khan's Chemicals ensures your home remains our #1 priority. For sales and other inquiries, call 011 933 4021. Khan's Chemicals, cleaning your home the way you want.
Back, Simplex Radio's Black November sale. Bigger and better. Get your hands on the Samsung 70-inch LED TV at only 9,999, saving a massive 3,000 Rand. Plus, we'll throw in a free soundbar.
Save 2,000 Rand on the Sinotech 65-inch LED TV at only 5,999.
Sinotech 32-inch LED TV now at a bargain price of just 1,699.
And get the Hisense 43-inch full HD smart TV at a low of 3,499.
Deals are limited. Simplex Radio,
The name you can trust.
Do you have a buyers, Samira, scarves, kitchenware, games, toys, furniture, or small appliances maybe you're not using? Why not donate to Declutter? The Peter Maritzburg Muslim Women's Organization, together with the Ansaar Foundation, are asking you to donate your unused but reusable items for their annual jumble sale. Drop off your item at Ansaar offices at 207 West Road, Overport, or the Ansaar offices in Peter Maritzburg at 240 Orkman Road. Drop-offs run until the 24th of November 2025. Let's get together and declutter for a cause. The jumble sale, making a difference in Peter Maritzburg.
Radio Al-Ansar welcomes your feedback. If you have a broadcasting-related complaint, please put it in writing and address it to the head of the complaints committee. Include your full name, contact details, a clear description of your complaint, and any supporting documents. You can email your complaint to feedback@alansar.org.za. That's feedback@alansar.org.za. Or bring it in person to our Peter Maritzburg office at 240 Ortman Road, Willowton. Your input helps us serve you better.
Radio Al-Ansar, 24/7. 365.
Kick off with Buddy Governor.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to Kickoff. And yes, you're with Mehreen, and I'm sitting in for Buddy Governor this afternoon. Hoping you're enjoying your afternoon here in Peter Maritzburg. We just had a massive storm, but it's beautiful. I can hear the soft rains as I'm talking to you as well. So inshallah, wherever you are, you're having a lovely end of your weekend, but a beautiful beginning to your week that's coming up, inshallah, I mean. So let's get back into some sports news for the day. We're moving on to some rugby news now, and this is about the Wallabies. The Wallabies' European tour, of course, ended in Paris with a 48-33 defeat to France. This was, of course, with them sealing their first winless tour of Europe since 1958 and confirming an unprecedented 10 test losses in a single year. Australia again started strongly, but they, of course, faded after halftime, a pattern that, of course, has defined their tour. Coach Joe Schmidt, who will depart after next July, said his side simply needed more time and they haven't finished games well enough. France's victory was driven by a standout display from winger Luis Bellibriari, and he scored twice, setting up 2 and brought his test rally to 20 tries in 22 matches. His chip and chase try and 2 assists for Nicolas Deporter swung momentum after Australia's early strikes. The Wallabies, of course, opened brightly through Matt Fressler's quick try and later through Angus Bell and Max Jorgensen. Poor French discipline, of course, with 8 first-half penalties, gave, of course, and kept Australia level at 19 all at the break, despite tries from Ramos, Bialaberry, and, of course, other team members. Keeping in with the rugby now, we're talking Springboks. The Springboks lived up to their brutal reputation as they ended more than a decade without a win in Dublin with a ruthless 24-13 victory over a valiant Ireland side. The Boks, of course, did not waste any time, and they set the scene as, of course, they were laying down their marker when Cheslin Kobe darted through, and he, of course, made that all-important try. Totally against the run of play, Ireland won a penalty after the Boks got a bit sloppy with the ball in hand, and from the ensuing line-out, they caught the Bok defence napping with a couple of deadly phases and passes before Dan Sheehan crashed over and, of course, close range to bring his side back into the contest. But Ireland's problems, of course, deepened when Jack Crowley was sent off for cynical play at the ruck. The Boks kicked to the corner, and with Irish scrum, they repeatedly infringing. The prop Andrew Porter was also shown a yellow, reducing the home side to just 12 men. Boks were soon hammering away at the Irish line again, and that was turning penalties into scrums until the pressures finally folded and resulting in yet another Irish yellow card. But after a seemingly endless time spent cramped in the Irish 22, the Boks came away empty-handed, resulting in a moral victory for the hosts. With time winding down, Ireland finally started to see some possession, but try as they might, they couldn't penetrate the Bok lines as the Boks, of course, came away with a memorable win in the Irish capital. Sticking with the Boks now, double World Cup winning Springbok hooker Marx, of course, became only the fourth South African to be named World Rugby Men's 15s Player of the Year on Saturday. Marx was named the winner moments, of course, after claiming man of the match honours in the Bok 24-13 victory over Ireland in Dublin. Of course, remember, that is a win that was extraordinary here for them as well. We celebrate with the Boks, but this 31-year-old scooped the honor for the first time after being nominated alongside 2019 and 2024 World Rugby Player of the Year Peter Swift du Toit and, of course, Prop Oxnish. It marks a historic moment for South African rugby, with two Boks winning this award back-to-back for the first time. Marx has been a force at the breakdown and, of course, a consistent player. His attacking threat, combining physicality and exceptional skill. His precise in-out throws, dynamic ball carrying, and, of course, his relentless work around the field have made him one of the most complete front rowers in the game. He was wished well, and of course the hooker was also nominated in 2018 and named SA Rugby Men's Player of the Year in 2017. He joins an exclusive list of South Africans to win this award, which is now alongside Du Toit, Brian Habana, and of course Skulk Burger. Keeping with some soccer news now, we're talking Liverpool. Some of you out there don't want me to say this, but I'm going to say it. Liverpool slumped to an embarrassing 3-0 defeat at home against Nottingham Forest, while Chelsea scored in each half for 2-0 victory away at Burnley. Of course, do remember that Liverpool has had a poor run, but it's continued after the going down as a big defeat at Anfield against Nottingham Forest. The visitors took the lead just after the half-hour mark when defender Morello fired in from a close range after scramble in the box. Liverpool were huffing and puffing, as SuperSport had said in their article, but they could not break the visitors down, and Forest went up the other end, getting a third goal through Morgan Gibbs-White with 12 minutes remaining. Pedro Neto and, of course, Endo Fernandez scored a goal late in each half, respectively, as Chelsea beat Burnley, of course, like we said, 2-0, and that was at Turf Moor on Saturday. Coming back to Banyana, remember the squad has now been named for the Morocco French regulars such as Refloa Jane, Linda Mutalalo, and of course Bababani Mbani. They headline the selection, while the goalkeeper Casey Gordon and midfielder Michelle Sampson are also among those earning further opportunities to impress on an international stage. The full list of the full Banyana squad, goalkeepers' names, defenders' names, and your midfielders' names are all on different websites. If you want to know who these people are, which soccer teams they play for, how they were selected, that will be where you would find it from. I'm hoping you can still hear me because I have a real thunder downpour right now, but I will just keep going, inshallah. If you do not want to, if you are not hearing me properly, please do send us a message as well. But we are looking forward to hearing from you. So don't forget, you can send us a WhatsApp message, 060-9041-056. We always look forward to hearing from all of you, our listeners. Coming back to some cricket news now. The Proteas will lament a few soft dismissals as they went under stumps on one day, the second and of course the final test against India at 247 for 6 as they chased a historic series victory. The captain was Temba Bavuma, and they had won though it looked like a crucial toss and opted to bat in the first test match played at Barsapara Cricket Stadium in Guwahati. Aidan Markham and of course Ryan Riggleton were watchful in some helpful conditions for the India seamers with an earlier start than usual, The batting pair did well to see off Mohammad Siraj and Jasprit Bumrah as scoring became slightly easier once the pitch had settled down and, of course, the sun had shone through. Coming to some tennis news now, Aryna Sabalenka is already casting her eye towards the 2026 season as she prepares to launch her campaign at the Brisbane International. The world number one hopes local fans will once again turn out in their force for the Australian WTA 500 event. Remember, Sabalenka has returned at the start of the current season and when want better, claiming that the title after her hard-fought final against world number 90, Polina Godametova. Although the top seed went in as a clear favorite, she was forced to recover from an early setback, losing an initial lead and dropping the first set. She rebuilt impressively to seal a 4-6, 6-3, 6-2 win and lift the Brisbane Trophy for the first time. Her season closed with a run-out finish at the WTA finals, after which the Belarusian, of course, took a brief holiday in the Maldives to decompress following a demanding year. She will soon resume practice before traveling to Australia, where she is definitely set to be the number one favorite for the 2026 Brisbane Crown. There's a lot of news that has to be said today. I'm going to try and cover it up before we all get over. Because remember, I do what Buddy to say we did a good job, right? Coming into some news now about long-distance runner Bennett Saloy. He's capped off a remarkable year by completing a rare marathon double after winning the inaugural Diamonds and Doreen Kimberley Big Hole Marathon yesterday. The boxer running club star, who claimed his first national title at the Athletic South African Marathon Championships in Cape Town earlier this year, he delivered yet another one, and he had won this one with it being in the bag very, very quickly. 25-year-old Limpopo athlete, he broke the tape at the Solplaatje University Sports Ground in 2 hours, 30 minutes, 22 seconds, earning himself a whopping 200,000 Rand prize. The lineup, of course, for this was featuring different people, and of course, one of the features were former Comrades Marathon champions Edward Motibi and Tete Diana. The latter, of course, also serving as a race ambassador alongside strong contenders like Lucky Mohale and, of course, Joel Morney. New Zealand chased down the target of 162 to beat West Indies by 4 wickets to seal a clean sweep in the 3-match ODI series at home. The Black Caps initially made heavy weather at the start of the run, chased, of course, as they slipped 32 for 3 in the 11th over. But Tom Latham and, of course, Mark Chapman put together a partnership for 38. Latham, however, fell for 10 to leave the hosts on 70 for 4 before Chapman were joined by Michael Bracewell. Lots of different news coming up, but I must also mention here, Bayern Munich, of course, has now been left frustrated after the UEFA landed Luis Diaz a 3-matches championships league suspension following his red card against Paris Saint-Germain yesterday. The Colombian winger was dismissed during Bayern's 2-1 away win in Paris. This was, of course, on Tuesday, but yesterday was confirmed that the length of his ban is going to be as of 3 different matches coming up. Oh, we have to move on to Formula One news, but you know what? Let's go for a quick break, and when I come back, that's what's going to come up then. Stay tuned.
This dunya breaks me, Allah heals me, I fall again. He still sees me, He knows my heart, He knows my pain. So I say, Ya Rahman, again and again. This dunya breaks me, Allah hears me, I cry alone, but He comes near me. The world is loud, but His peace is clear. So I whisper, Ya Allah, stay near. Someday I smile, most days I fake it. So much pressure, I can barely take it. They say have faith, but they don't know I'm fighting battles I never show. Bills to pay, tears at night, praying Fajr just to feel right. Scrolling through life, feeling behind, searching for peace I still can't find. This dunya breaks me, Allah heals me. I fall again, He still sees me. He knows my heart, He knows my pain. So I say, Ya Rahman again and again. This dunya breaks me. Allah hears me. I cry alone. But he comes near me. The world is loud, but His peace is clear. So I whisper, Ya Allah, stay near. I lost my way, but never His light. Even in sin, He held me tight. Regret so heavy, shame so real. But His mercy taught me how to heal. He didn't wait for me to be perfect. He waited for me to come back broken. And when I did, I found Him there, washing my soul with every prayer. This dunya breaks me, Allah heals me. I fall again, He still sees me. He knows my heart, He knows my pain. So I say, Ya Rahman again and again. This dunya breaks me, Allah hears me, Allah hears me. I cry alone, but He comes near me. The world is loud, but His peace is clear. So I whisper, Ya Allah, stay near. Ya Allah, when I'm tired, carry me. Ya Allah, when I'm lost, guide me. Ya Allah, this dunya is hard, but Jannah is worth every scar. Ya Allah, don't let me go.
Stop taking meeting notes and let ClickUp AI.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. What a beautiful nasheed that was. This dunya breaks me, but of course Allah saves me. Inshallah, that will be all of our philosophies, and we know that we will always get through everything, no matter what we may be enduring, because it's for Allah, from Allah, and He will definitely get us through it, inshallah. So yeah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's Mehreen. I'm sitting in for Buddy Governor this afternoon on the show of Kickoff. And of course, yeah, we were talking lots of sports news, and we've got one more bit of sports news to cover. And if you're listening to us in Pietermaritzburg, you're 105.6 FM, Dublin and the surrounds, you're 90.4 FM. Right now, we had a huge thunder show. Well, not huge, but it was kind of heavy. But it's now fading. And of course, it's been up and down. I don't know where you are, what your weather's like, where you're at. But of course, if you're on the road, it's raining, please do take extra care and caution. We're going back to some of our news before we can close. And of course, who can ever have a show about sport and not talk Formula One? I know Buddy would be happy with that, and so would my daughter and many other fans. So let's talk some Formula One quickly before we go to a close. Formula One world champion Max Verstappen, he produced a masterful drive to win the Las Vegas Grand Prix yesterday, and his little hopes were boosted further with the McLaren's championship being disqualified. Norris finished the race in second with Piastri fourth, but the skid blocks on both cars were found after the race to be less than the minimum depth. The disqualifications mean that with 2 race weekends remaining, 4-time defending champion Verstappen is now level on points, with Piastri in the title race just 24 points behind Norris. But Verstappen's chances to a 5th successful title will depend on another spectacular slip-up from Norris or his McLaren team. Do remember, though, that with a maximum of 58 points available in the final two Grand Prix, the Brighton just needs to score 2 more points than each of his rivals in next weekend's penultimate weekend in Qatar, which includes a sprint to secure his first title. Verstappen dominated in Vegas from the moment he pounced on a slip by pole setter Norris on the first turn of the Sin City's street circuit to grab the lead, and thereafter he controlled the race to claim the 69th Grand Prix win of his career, finishing more than 20 seconds clear. He did say, and some people did mention something about Mercedes, but if we go into the news items everywhere, Mercedes' George Russell says that finished third on the track but was upgraded to second with his teammate Kimi Antonelli, who finished in fifth, moving up to third because of the disqualifications itself. So after the drama of Friday's qualifying, when heavy rain made for a treacherous surface that Verstappen likened to driving on ice, of course, yesterday's 50-lap race under the glittering lights of Las Vegas got underway in a very cool, dry conditions. Piastri, of course, began in fifth place on the grid and was also rearing in a challenging start, which saw him bumped wheels with RB's Liam Lawson. But the Australian had been desperately looking to make up ground in Vegas after surrendering a 34-point advantage in the Drivers' Championship since his victory at the Dutch Grand Prix in August. Nonetheless, 24-year-old from Melbourne acknowledged that his hopes of catching Norris had taken a blow after yesterday's race. Do remember, though, that we want to catch this and watch all this fun happen. So you got to stay tuned to kickoff. You got to be able to watch all of your stars on all of the different platforms on every sporting activity. Time for me to close and my tech there. Thank you so much, Brother Asif. Really appreciate you. Thank you to all of our listeners out there. If you do want to still send us that message, don't forget that you can. Give us some feedback. We'd love to hear from you. WhatsApp 0609041056. To all of you out there, please be safe. Be good, and do remember, sport is obviously very good for each one of us. I tell myself that, but let me just try and do it. Of course, sport is good for us holistically. We can become better physically, emotionally, and of course, it's very upbeat. Thank you, Buddy Governor, whoever you are. We're hoping that you're going to be good, and thank you to Radio Al Ansar for allowing me to be able to be the fill-in for Buddy Governor today. Inshallah, we will see you again. Don't forget, you got to join me on Wednesday at my show, which is the BU4U show on Wednesdays between 12 and 1. Take care of yourselves. Astaudiullah dinaka wa amanata wa khatima amalika. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
خلق جميل نزل عليه قول ثقيل فتح به قلوب الثقلين عاش الحياة.
Kickoff with Buddy Governor is brought to you by First Fitness, Durban's premier boutique gym.
هو أحمد هو سيدي هو زهرة برحيقه من مكة إلى المدينة هجرته نور مبين رأيت عيني رأتك في الدنيا فإن كنت أمامي تقبلت عينيك وأحمد هو سيدي